Long ago, in a village where the sun baked the red earth and the market buzzed like a hive of bees, there lived a woman named Amanda. She had been blessed after many seasons of waiting, for the spirits of the ancestors opened her womb and gave her twins, two bright boys whose laughter filled the compound like birdsong. One day, Amanda's mistress hurried her. "Run to the market," she said. "My husband needs these things at once." Amanda nodded and tied one boy to her back. She left the other on a soft mat in the living room, with a promise of returning quickly. "Stay here, my son," she whispered. "Don't go playing with the others. Is this not the cutest boy in the world?" She kissed his forehead and left. The house seemed peaceful. Mama, the grandmother, cooked in the kitchen. The mistress moved about with the second child, and the compound was filled with women's voices, cooking pots, and the sound of children's play. But when Amanda returned, her heart split like dry wood. The twin she had left was gone. "Where is my son?" she cried. "Mama, have you taken him?" But Mama shook her head. "You see, my hands are empty. I thought both boys were in the living room. I left him lying here." Amanda wailed. "I only went to pick my phone. When I came back, he was gone." The women searched the house. They looked behind doors, under beds, in corners where shadows slept. But the boy was nowhere. The compound filled with confusion. Some whispered that a spirit had walked in, silent as smoke, and carried him away. "Let us ask the gate man," Mama urged. "Perhaps the baby cried, and he came to help." They called him, and he came, wiping dust from his feet. "Where is my son?" the mistress demanded. "Bring him out." The gate man's eyes widened. "Madam, I know nothing of this child. No one entered this compound after Amanda left. I locked the small gate myself." Her grief sharpened into anger. "Then you must know something. You are the one who guards this place. Who did you sell my son to?" The gate man trembled like a leaf in storm. "I swear on the ancestors, I did not touch the child. If I lie, may my life end in misery. I was at my post. I saw nothing." But the mistress's husband returned and found his wife in tears. When he learned that one twin had vanished, his heart grew heavy. "3 of you were in this house," he said, Amanda, Mama, and his wife, "and still my son is missing? We begged the gods for years, and when they blessed us with 2 children, how could you be so careless?" The women wept. The house became a river of sorrow. "Perhaps a ghost came," one whispered. "For how else can one child vanish while the other is left behind?" But the husband turned on the gate man. "You are the chief guard of this home. Tell me, man to man, who did you sell my son to?" The gate man dropped to his knees. "I did no such thing. Sir, you are a good man. I have no reason to harm you or your family. Anyone who did this will never go unpunished. The gods themselves will bring judgment." Yet the mistress would not be comforted. She tore her cloth and lifted her voice to the sky. "What have I done to deserve this? Who have I offended? O gods, return my son to me. How do I face my husband, my people, without him?" And so the story spread, that in that compound, one twin vanished as if swallowed by air. Some said a jealous spirit had taken him. Others said human hands were involved, though none confessed. The elders shook their heads and spoke in proverbs. A child is not raised by one pair of eyes. The whole village must keep watch. When a child goes missing, the spirits too must answer. To this day, the people tell this tale when dusk falls and the fire crackles. They say it is a warning, that no matter how many adults stand in a house, the eyes of spirits are sharper, and children are treasures that must be guarded as though they were gold. After the guardsman was taken away, the compound fell into a silence heavy like the harmattan dust. The mother of the twins wept until her eyes turned red as cola-nut peel, for her heart could not rest. But even in her sorrow, her husband's anger burned hotter than firewood. He raised his voice, accusing her of neglect, of carelessness, and even of wickedness. The poor woman wept and said, "How can I harm the child I bore in my womb for 9 moons? How can I destroy the gift I begged the gods for?" But her husband, blinded by grief, struck her with words sharper than a hunter's spear. Her own mother rose to defend her, saying, "This daughter of mine is no murderer. She cannot harm her own child. You are punishing an innocent heart. Yet anger has no ears. The man vowed that if his son was not found within a day, he would grind everyone in the house as pepper is ground in the mortar. His words made even the walls of the house tremble. But the sorrow deepened. The man refused his wife the right to hold her surviving daughter. When the baby cried for milk, he commanded that the maid carry her instead. He said, "Until the missing boy returns, this woman must not touch the child." The mother wept louder than the village wailer at a burial, crying, "How can I live if I am denied the touch of my own daughter?" Her mother again stood strong and said, "A suckling child belongs to her mother's breast. Do not invite death upon this one too." But the man's heart was as hard as Irako wood. Days passed like moons, and grief hung over the house like a storm cloud. The woman spoke to her sister and said, "My heart is broken like a mirror. Each time I close my eyes, I see my son, hungry, crying for me. Perhaps they have taken him for rituals. Perhaps he is lost in the forest of spirits. Oh, what crime did this innocent boy commit?" Her sister calmed her, saying, "If you carry sorrow like this, it will weigh you down until you drown in your own tears. Eat, lest we lose 2 lives at once." But the mother shook her head and said, "How can I eat when my son may not even drink water? My life is incomplete without him." At last, the father, seeing the depth of his wife's pain, softened his voice. He came to her and said, "Forgive me. I have wronged you. Let us put the past behind us. You are still young, and perhaps the gods will give us more children. Let us live in peace." She nodded through her tears, though her heart still bled. For she whispered to herself, "The loss of a child cannot be replaced, even with 100 others. Maxwell was my son, my chubby-faced boy, my light." In the seasons that followed, the house of Amanda's mistress grew darker than a cave where no torch had ever burned. Though one child had already vanished like mist in the morning sun, the family clung to the surviving daughter, little Chica. The mistress watched her like a hawk guarding its only chick, scarcely allowing her from her sight. But jealousy walks with cunning feet, and Amanda's heart was heavy. She wished for a chance to hold the child, to cradle her the way a mother cradles her own. Yet the mistress grew more protective each day, saying, "This is all I have left. If you must take her outside, tell me first. Her life is worth more than mine." Amanda agreed with bowed head, but inside she thought, "How can I achieve my mission if the mistress never leaves me alone?" For, though no one knew it yet, there was a dark plot stirring like a snake in tall grass. One morning, the mistress's husband was leaving for a meeting when his wife begged him, "Please, drop Amanda at the market. She will return quickly that way." He agreed, not knowing that the market trip was part of Amanda's secret design. As soon as the road cleared, Amanda whispered to herself, "An elder girl waits outside to take this child. I must find a way to release her from her mother's grip." But the gods see all things, even thoughts carried in silence. Before Amanda could act, laughter filled the compound, then silence, then cries. Soon the air was pierced by the mistress's scream. Her daughter, too, had vanished. The household shook with chaos. The mistress wept until her voice cracked, her husband stormed like a thundercloud, and Amanda trembled in false innocence. But when the truth could not be found, suspicion turned sharp as a knife. The husband beat his wife in anger, accusing her of witchcraft, of eating her own children. He called her a wolf in sheep's clothing, blind to her tears of innocence. The beating was merciless. One of the mistress's eyes was darkened, her spine injured, and she was left confined to a chair, unable to walk. Her cries became the cries of a wounded dove, "I did not harm my children. The gods know my innocence. Someone has planted sorrow in my hands." Her mother arrived and, seeing her daughter's condition, wailed like a drum at a funeral. "What wickedness is this? If your father still lived, no man would treat you so. I will not keep silent. The one who caused this pain will taste double of it." But her son-in-law hardened his heart, blaming his wife again and again. The house became a battlefield. The mother-in-law refused to leave, swearing, "Only in death will I abandon my child. Let the one who hurt her face me." The husband raged, the wife wept, and the elders shook their heads, saying, "When twins vanish like smoke, it is not ordinary. The hand of a hidden enemy is at work." Yet the truth still hid in the shadows. Amanda continued to mask her face with loyalty and gentle words, though her heart carried secrets. And the elders whispered, "Evil may cover itself in a wrapper of kindness, but the wrapper will one day tear." As the days grew heavier with grief, the husband's heart turned cold as stone toward his crippled wife. He withdrew his love, his care, even the smallest kindness, saying, "From now on, you shall bear your cross alone. If you need help, call Amanda or the gateman." The poor woman wept and said, "Where are my twins? Why do you hate me so? Do you not know that sorrow is heavier than hatred?" But he did not listen. Suspicion, planted by lies, had poisoned his heart. For Amanda, the maid, had whispered dreams into his ears. She said, "Master, I have seen visions. Your wife is a witch. She is the one who has eaten your children. Even in her weakness, she still plans evil against you. Be careful, for you might be her next target." The husband trembled at her words, for he remembered his missing twins and thought, could this truly be so? From that day, he watched his wife with eyes of mistrust and treated Amanda as a loyal servant, not knowing that the scorpion he feared was already living in his pocket. But the gods see what mortals cannot. They stirred the hearts of the village elders and even the men of authority to ask questions. One day, an officer came to the house and said, "From our investigation, all fingers point toward your maid." The husband rose in anger. "Never. That girl is innocent. She cannot hurt a fly. She cooks, she washes, she keeps this house alive. Do not soil her name." The officer bowed his head, for he could not force truth into a heart blinded by trust. But the gods had already set their trap. That evening, Amanda prepared a fine meal for her master, fried rice and fish, spiced with hidden death. She smiled as she set the table, but when the master asked her to join him, she refused. "I am not hungry, sir," she said, trembling. "Eat," he commanded. "I cannot," she pleaded. "Eat, or I will take you to the station," he thundered. Still, Amanda shook her head. Fear betrayed her, and in that moment, the husband's eyes opened. He seized his phone and showed the officer a secret recording, Amanda mixing poison into his food. Her mask was torn. The officer rose and said, "Wolf in sheep's clothing. Speak now, who sent you?" Amanda fell to her knees, weeping. "It is the devil's work. A woman called Abigail sent me. She promised me riches, she promised me power. She told me to destroy this family." The husband's heart broke afresh. Abigail, the woman he once loved but did not marry. She had hidden jealousy in her bosom like fire under ashes. She had found Amanda, planted her like a seed of evil in his house, and used her hands to destroy his joy. The officer said, "Call her. Tell her the deed is done, that the master and even the gateman are dead. Lure her here. The gods demand justice, and tonight it will come." Amanda obeyed. She dialed, and her trembling voice carried lies to Abigail. "Sister, the deed is done. Mr. Eves is dead. The house is ours. Come quickly, for there is money in a briefcase we must take before we leave." Abigail, blinded by greed, agreed to come. She believed her wicked plan had succeeded. But the gods, who never sleep, had already laid the snare. The courtyard fell silent as the officer spoke. His voice carried the weight of judgment. "Madam, you are under arrest for the murder of Mr. Eves's twins, and for attempting to take his life." Amanda trembled. "I did not kill anyone. The twins are alive. They are under my custody. I am not a murderer." The crowd gasped. The crippled wife wept aloud. "You mean my children are not dead?" "They are safe," Amanda confessed. "I kept them, for I am not as heartless as this man. He is the wicked one. Did he not date me for 6 years? Did he not force me to destroy my womb with countless abortions? And when I told him I was pregnant, did he not feed me drugs that nearly took my life?" The villagers murmured, shocked at her tale. Amanda's voice shook like dry leaves in the wind as she revealed her pain. She had once been promised love, but was left with an empty womb and a broken destiny. "Instead of marriage," she cried, "he cast me away and chose another. He said he could not wed a woman without children. He said it would be like marrying his fellow man." Abigail, who had planted Amanda in the household, was dragged forward. She spat on the ground, her pride unbroken even in chains. But the gods had exposed her envy, and the officer declared that both she and Amanda would face the Council of Elders. Then, like a sunrise after a storm, the twins were brought forth. Their mother's cry split the night, "My sons! My children! My blood!" She fell to her knees, clutching them, tears of joy washing away years of sorrow. The husband stood speechless. Shame burned in his chest as he remembered how he had despised his crippled wife, how he had believed the lies of a servant, and how he had called her a witch. He fell to his knees before her. "Forgive me," he whispered. "I wronged you. I cast stones when I should have sheltered you. I turned my back when you needed me most. If the gods allow, I will make amends. I will fly you abroad for healing. I will honor you as my wife again." The woman, though broken in body, lifted her face. Her eyes shone with quiet strength. "The gods have vindicated me. Truth has spoken for me when my tongue was silenced. May their justice remain forever." The people rejoiced. Songs rose into the night sky, praising the gods who never sleep, the gods who see what mortals cannot. The crippled wife, once despised, was restored. Her children were returned. Her name was cleared. And as the moon bathed the earth in silver, the tale closed its circle. For lies may flourish like weeds, but in the end, truth grows taller and its roots cannot be cut. Thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos.